Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. To all my regular subscribers, thank you for tuning in again today. To all those who haven't subscribed, you know how to do. Please hit that subscribe button. We're still on the road to 500 subscribers. I wish by now would be on the road to 5,000, but anyway, I'll take what I can get. So today we're talking about the most important things to do once you get to Ireland, just to set the pace for yourself, things that you need to start chasing. First of all, the moment you land, get yourself a SIM card. So I don't know, with me, my agent told me someone would give us lines when we got to the airport, but when we got there we weren't given any. But when we did, because we were quarantining, I don't know if you guys are still doing that now or if they're still quarantining nurses. As soon as we got to the hotel room, we got an email to send our hotel numbers through, and in about 2 days we got our lines. So those lines are so important because it makes you accessible. You're able to communicate with your employer. You're able to communicate, like, to do all that you need to do. Basically, you guys, the importance of phones. So that phone, once you have a line, once you have that SIM card, then make sure you give that number to your employer or your agent so that they can reach you. 1, 2, make sure you download apps that you use where you are. Others will need apps for buses, apps for taxis, apps for trains or whatever, for schedules or for booking. That's important if you're in a place where you're going to be using a lot of public transport. If you're not going to be using public transport like where I was, then it's fine. But it's important to at least have a line for communication with even workplace setups. So make sure also you give your work manager your phone number and you have downloaded WhatsApp, because this side they communicate a lot on WhatsApp. So you're going to put on a work group, and any messages concerning work are put on that WhatsApp group. So be it change of shift, be it need for extra shifts or whatever, they communicate on WhatsApp. Yes, they might call you if they can't reach you, but you're like inconveniencing everyone. The easiest thing to do is make sure you have WhatsApp. Then besides that, your phone you're going to use to call, like if you need to communicate even with your family back home. Obviously, as soon as you get here, you need to tell them that you've traveled well and all that stuff, and keep the communication lines, for your own sanity. Then yeah, so the line is a basic, guys. I can't be telling you a whole lot about it. We all know the importance of being able to communicate and being accessible. And then once you do that, also make sure you've joined WhatsApp groups of nurses in Ireland, either from your country or wherever. These will help you when you're trying to do certain things. They'll direct you on where to go. Like, once you're here, the other important thing that I'll talk about is booking a GNIB appointment. You might not know the email, but if you're in a WhatsApp group of people who've done it before, they can give you the email address of the place where you're in, which email to book the appointment on. So it makes it easier for you because you're able to ask people who've done the process already. And then the next important thing would be accommodation. Before you come, make sure you know where you're going. Before you come, make sure you know accommodation is arranged or is being arranged for you. If not, you might have to be forced to stay in a hostel, and that's extra costs for you. So make sure you ask those things before you come, whether it's an agent or it's the employer. Ask, are they looking for accommodation for you? If they are not, start making those moves before you come. Try to communicate with people who are already here to look for something for you. If you've got friends in where you're going, the better, because they can find or offer you accommodation where they're staying. And also, when it comes to accommodation, if you're not, or if you're in a place like where I was, there was no local transport. The only thing you could find was a taxi, and sometimes it was difficult because there's very few taxis. And after certain hours where I stay, there are no taxis as well. So basically we were walking, and I was staying 20 to 30 minutes away from work. So if I knocked off at 9, this side 9 p.m. it will be dark, or maybe you'll knock off half 9 to 10 latest. You walk back in the dark. So I'd advise, if you can, whichever accommodation you get, try to make it as nearest to the hospital where you're going to work as possible, because the weather also is very unpredictable. You may leave home and it's sunny when you're going to work in the morning. When you're coming back, it's raining, or while you're walking it just starts raining. So you can't say, oh, today it looks sunny, there's no need, I'm going to walk. No, you need to always make sure that you've got like even your umbrella or your waterproof jacket with you, if you know you're going to be walking. Even if you're not walking, if you're catching a bus, you're obviously going to catch it at a bus stop. So yeah, so make sure accommodation is sorted. And if you do that in advance, you can also find cheaper accommodation because you are weighing your options. But when you get here and you're desperate, you end up going for something expensive, which will be more costly to you as well. So we've talked about getting a line, we've talked about accommodation. The next thing I'd advise you as well is to get what is called a LIP card. For me, where I was staying, there was no local bus, so I didn't know about a LIP card until I wanted to go to the beach one day, and it was like in another town. We get onto the bus and they're asking us, where are your LIP cards? And we had no idea what LIP cards were. So LIP cards are basically cards where you put money, and then when you get into the bus, you just tap, or they subtract whatever fee to where you're going from there. And if you don't have it, you get onto the bus and they're asking you, like for me, I look like a fool, but at least now I'm telling you, there's something called a LIP card, especially for those who will be catching buses to work or need to catch a train in between work and home. It's very convenient. You just put your money there, or month end when you get paid, or fortnightly, whenever you get paid. You can just put your money that you know is enough for the whole week or for the whole month, and then you just use your card. You don't have to carry cash. So it's convenient in that sense. And then also, the very important thing that we do when we get here is something called a GNIB appointment. A GNIB appointment is an appointment you make to get your residency permit. Like it's a stamp that you get on your passport, because when we apply to, when we apply to get a visa to come here, it's only just an entry visa. It's not stating how long you're, like, it's not giving you time or enough time to stay here. Maybe it might just say a month, or it might not even say how long you're allowed to be here for. But when you book a GNIB appointment, you book it with the guardian that is like your local one. You email, you tell them, sorry, I'm back, a call came through. So what happens with the GNIB, you send an email to the respective GADA or official in your area who does the GNIB cards, or who gives you like days to stay in the country, and you tell him, I'm sorry and so, I've started work at this hospital, I'm employed as a staff nurse or whatever you're employed as, and then he'll send you back an email and tell you, okay, you can come on these days at this time, bring these and these documents. So when you go there, you probably take your passport, your contract, and whatever else is there. I don't remember everything that's needed. You get there, he looks at your documents, and you pay a certain amount. So the GNIB as well is €300, guys. That's money. For me, we paid for that money on our own. So that's money you also have to budget for. I'm sure your agents or your employers will tell you that in advance. So you get there, then you swipe your card, or you pay your cash. But no, actually, for the GNIB appointment, they don't take cash. I don't know now. When I did it twice, when I got here and later on to renew, they just want you to swipe only. So make sure as soon as you get here, like, you open an account as well, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about. So that's the GNIB. It's very important. You can't leave Ireland with the entry visa that you came. If you have an emergency back home, you need to go back with the GNIB card so that you're able to get in, to come back in, because you're obviously not going to go home and apply for another visa. So if you've got a visa, an entry visa already, and you go home for an emergency or something, when you're coming back, you need to produce your GNIB card. That's the other importance of it, to show that they're allowing you to be resident in Ireland for such and such period of time. Or it will show your info, like you're employed, or you're whatever, part of the critical skills, or you have a critical skills permit if you've now got the permit. So then I move on to another important thing, a bank account. That's one thing, as soon as you get here, it's one of the most important things you need, because once you start working, they want those details. Your HR needs those details to start paying you. If you're employed by the HSC like me, they pay you in 2 weeks time. Like, it's 2 weekly. So obviously, if you start working this week, in the next 2 weeks, or in the next month, at least they have to have started paying you. They'll back pay you if they delay over the first 2 weeks, they'll back pay you. But ideally, the HSC will pay you 2 weekly. So make sure you do your bank account as soon as you can. You give them the details. If you do it on time, you'll get your salary like early enough. So also, on that note, on the bank account, I'd also advise you to open another savings account where you're putting like your savings, because this side there's a lot of scamming. People will just randomly call you and ask you for your bank details. So if you all your money in one account, chances are very high that if they scam you, all your money is gone, all your savings are gone. But if you open a savings account like this side, a lot of people open savings accounts with credit union. So when you get here, you can find out, you can Google the credit union in your area. There's a credit union in every area. If you're in Tipperary, or you're in Limerick, or you're in whichever town you're in, there's a credit union there. So you can just Google and go in there. They don't charge you anything. You can put your money and take it out as you please. And also, you can borrow money even if you have money in your account, just for you to have a credit record. These are things that should help you in future. Let's say you want to buy a house, you can show that, okay, I borrowed money from credit union, which is like a bank. And yo guys, I'll finish this video in the name of Jesus. The interruptions are just a lot, but anyway, let me go through it. So we're done with the bank accounts. The other important thing you need to do as well as soon as you get here is to apply for a PPS number. The reason you need to do these things like as soon as you get here is because they take a bit of time, and you will realize that as soon as you get to work, they are asking you for these things. Can we have your PPS number? Can we have your bank account number? Can we have this? And you seem like you're incompetent, or like you're not like serious. So you need to like get on it. If you can do it before you even start going to work, the better. By the time you go to work, you already have everything that they need from you. Like, so the PPS number is basically like your tax number. So you apply for it. I'll put down links in the comment section of the PPS, like links for the LIP card, links for more information on the GNIB appointment, on how to book for it, links on applying for the PPS number and all. And also another thing that I just want to advise you on is, sometimes you have so many questions about like staying here. There's a website called citizen.ie, citizens information. So you can just like kind of search what you're searching and just say Citizens Information Island. It will link you to that page and it will give you most of the information that you want. And every county or every town has a citizens information like office where you can actually walk in and ask them, and they're very nice. They'll explain things to you, like especially like you've been here and you want to bring your family, or whatever question you have concerning staying here, like citizenship or like the paperwork, you can go and ask. They'll advise as well. If you can't get the information on groups, you can go online or to their offices. So you can just Google it as well, where their offices are in your area. And then so the other thing, like apply for a public services card. This card works as your identification card. This card works as, it gives you, like, it's for access to a range of public services. For instance, if you've got any disability benefits or anything, you might be able to travel for free. On that card, they'll put like a code to show that you can travel for free, because of like when you show them, whether it's on the bus or whatever, they'll know that there's a code that shows you can travel for free. So things like that are good. Like if you don't want to carry your GNIB card around everywhere, because your GNIB card is also like a form of identification, and it also shows how long you're allowed to be here for. But if you don't want to carry it around, you can apply for a public services card, which you can use as your ID and just leave your GNIB card around. That's another option. And yeah, so also I would advise you to know your area, know where you're going. I always say this in most of my videos, like find out where the supermarkets are, find out where if you're going to work in a hospital. Like when we arrived where we were starting to work, luckily enough, our landlord took us and showed us where the hospital was. So we basically knew, okay, when we go to work tomorrow morning, we're walking up the road. So because we had already been shown how far the hospital is, which direction we're going, where all the supermarkets are and all. So I guess that's it, guys. That's like 10 things you need to do when you get to Ireland. It's a bit draining, and if you don't do it on time, you feel like... So okay guys, that's all from me. That's all from me today. That's about 10 things. And yeah, the other thing is, make sure you have your warm stuff with you. Your waterproof jacket, your umbrella is a must-have. Always carry those around. And then all the other warm things just to keep you warm: your jacket, your beanie, your gloves, and yeah, boots. And yeah, basically that's it. So guys, take care. Please subscribe, please share, please like. Thank you all for the support. Bye.